Hey everyone, it's low carb and keto nutrition specialist Amy Berger from 2itnutrition.com bringing you, as always, keto without the crazy. Let's talk about all or nothing thinking. And all or nothing thinking can apply to keto, it can apply to any other way of eating, and it can apply to life in general, totally unrelated to your diet. But since this is the Keto Without the Crazy channel, why don't I focus on keto? So what do I mean by the all or nothing thinking? This is the kind of mindset that leads us to the behaviors and actions of, well, I blew it on Friday night, I'll just start again Monday. Like, I'll just enjoy the weekend, I'll just eat every carb on the week, I'll start again Monday. Or I've blown it for the day, I'll start again tomorrow. So I'll get pizza for dinner and I'll, have bread, but I'll start again tomorrow. Like the day's already shot. Or another way to look at all or nothing black and white type thinking in keto is I'm over my carbs for the day. I blew it, I'll just start again tomorrow. Let's examine this, and I'm gonna borrow some examples that I did not come up with myself. I wish I did, because they're very, I think, poignant, very educational for us, but I can't take credit for these. Let's say, you leave your house in the morning, you need to drive to work, and you get out there and you see you have a flat tire. You don't go and slash the other three. Well, I've got a flat tire, I might as well ruin the other three. You wouldn't do that because that's ridiculous. It's just one flat tire. You don't have to make a bad situation worse. Or another one that I heard that tire analogy is used very often. One that I like even more, that I don't hear used as often is, all of us pretty much once in a while, you spend a little more than you plan to. I'm just going to be stereotypical here for a minute, but like, ladies, if you've ever been to Kohl's and you've got one of those coupons and you go there for 2 items and you leave with 2 ginormous bags full and $40 of Kohl's cash, we've all done it. Anyway, but I don't know anything about that. That's a hypothetical situation that has never happened to me. So those of you watching from outside the United States, I'm sure you have a similar store where you lose control of your eyes and your hands, and they just put things in your cart. Anyway, the thing with the all or nothing black and white thinking is, oh my God, oh geez, I spent more than I planned to. Well, I might as well just max out my credit card then. I might as well just buy everything and I'll just be bankrupt, or like I'll just start again next week. Again, you don't have to make a bad situation worse. Just because you did something you didn't mean to do, or you did more of something than you meant to do, doesn't mean you have to do all of that thing. It doesn't mean that you have to be out of control. Like, you got a little bit out of control, that doesn't mean that you have to lose all the control, right? There's another one, because there were 3 and I did not make notes. I'm trying to remember what the third one was. Oh, smoking. Let's say you are a former smoker, and or let's say not, you're trying to quit, and you've been doing really well. You've gone however long without cigarettes, and now you light one up. Oh, I had a cigarette. I had a damn cigarette. Well, I might as well smoke the rest of the pack. I might as well finish the rest of the carton. No, like, this is ridiculous kind of thinking, right? You had 1 cigarette. Don't make 1 cigarette into 10 or 20. The minute you put the cigarette down, you've made a decision. The minute you put it down, you're back in control and you don't have to reach for the rest of the pack. The minute you put the credit card back into your purse, or you put your phone, whatever you're using to pay, the minute you put that away, it's away. You don't have to keep whipping it out and max out that credit card. So, okay, what does this have to do with keto? What does this have to do with food? I think you can probably kind of figure out for yourselves where I'm going, but this is again that sort of weekend type thinking, like it's Thursday or it's Friday morning, and you blow it, quote unquote, in your opinion, in your own opinion, compared to what you wanted to eat or planned to eat. You blew it on some carbs. And so that all or nothing thinking is what tells you, well, I might as well just start again Monday. Instead of starting again dinner Friday night or the snack Friday afternoon, the very next bite you put in your mouth could be right back on plan. You don't have to wait a day, you don't have to wait 2 or 3 days. And it's not even the very next bite you take of your next meal. It's the last bite you take of the thing that you didn't intend to eat. The minute you put down the muffin or the cookie or the tub of ice cream, the minute you put that down, you're already on the path. And even if you ate the whole thing, that's something else I've never, I don't know what that's like. What is that like to binge on a whole giant thing of carbs? I've never. Okay, I have to say that was sarcasm, just because on Twitter sarcasm doesn't always come across so well, and you have to put /s so everybody knows. I would hope that my tone, and those of you who've been watching me for a while, you know that was sarcasm, because I do know what that's like. Even if you finished the whole muffin, even if you finished the whole pint of ice cream, even if you finished the whole sleeve of cookies, guess what? The second the package is empty and it's in the trash and it's done, you're already back on the path. The second the carbs stop coming in, you're back on the path. Are you back into the state of ketosis if that's something that you usually aim for? No. It's going to take you a while to get back there. Now, it's an entirely individual thing. It could be mere hours or it could be a day or two. It's basically as soon as you work through that glycogen, as soon as you work through the carbohydrate and any amount of the carbohydrate that you store, as soon as you work through that, you're back in ketosis. Now, so yeah, it doesn't ruin everything. Some other time I'll do a video specifically on cheating, or I will check out the links below. I will link to a blog post that I did about cheat meals that I think will be very helpful and reassuring to some of you, because if you've been doing low carb or keto for a long time and you have a cheat, even a massive cheat, and I don't like that word, but I'm using it just because I don't know of a better word. Like, you eat off plan. Even if you eat radically off plan for a day, that one day of radical off plan eating doesn't undo or negate all the awesome things that have happened until then. The weight you lost, all the blood sugar coming down, the acid reflux being down. Now, you might have acid reflux after eating all that stuff, or you might trigger yourself a migraine or a gout attack or something, but that's very temporary. That's going to be gone very soon. You don't undo the metabolic adaptations and the physiological adaptations that you achieved in all those weeks or months or however long you were keto before you ate radically off plan. So, but that, oh my gosh, that's way too much said about that. I will make a separate video about cheat meals. Let me get back to the all or nothing thinking. Do I have notes? I made like one line of notes. Yeah, and so the waiting a day to get back on plan or waiting the weekend is one thing. The thing within one day, within one day's worth of eating, let's say at some point early-ish in the day, your breakfast, your lunch, or afternoon snack or something, you eat off plan. You eat more carbs than you intended. Maybe this is the case, I would say, not something, no, actually, I take that back. Whatever it is, whatever you ate, whether it was just, something a little higher in carbs than you normally would have had. Maybe it was, maybe you don't normally eat fruit and you had a handful of berries, or maybe you had 5 cookies or a whole muffin or something, whatever it is. The whole day is not ruined, and I'll tell you why. Now, again, that might kick you out of ketosis. Pardon me for saying that heinous phrase, but so temporarily you will not be in ketosis from those carbs. But let's say you had an extra 50 grams of carbs. Is an extra 50 grams of carbs better than an extra 150 grams of carbs? Is it better than an extra 214 grams of carbs? Do you see, you don't have to make this situation worse. And I said this situation, I didn't say a bad situation. We have so much morality wrapped up in food that is so harmful, but that's a whole other, there are like dietitians and nutritionists that specialize in deprogramming the diet brain. But anyway, I don't want to say don't make a bad day worse. You ate a muffin. You're not a bad person, and it's not even a bad food. It was a muffin and you ate it. And if that is the biggest sort of off-roading you do that day, congratulations. Because 6 months ago or 2 years ago or whenever before keto, you were probably easily eating 150 grams of carbs a day, if not more. 200 easily, some people. So the fact that you had 50 or 60 or 70 or 80 grams of carbs in a day, really not that big a deal in the grand scheme. Now, if you are somebody that has a medical condition where you have to be in ketosis, or you have to at least be under a certain carbohydrate amount, whether or not you're in ketosis, you have to keep your carbs very low, then yeah, you're probably not going to feel so great, or you may have some negative consequences that's more than just the average person who, the most severe thing they face is the internal pain, the inner monologue of shame and self-loathing and like, oh, I can't believe I did it again, I'm such a failure. And like, so I'm not suggesting, I'm not recommending that you go eat carbs whenever you want, but because the more frequently you do that, and the larger the excursions are, the farther off plan you eat, the longer it's going to take you to get to your goals, if you get there at all. And goals, whatever that means to you. It could be fat loss, it could be reversing your type 2 diabetes, it could be reversing PCOS, getting rid of gout, whatever. Again, the more frequently you eat off plan, and the more, the greater the magnitude of how far off you are, the longer it's going to take if you get there at all. So, but I don't, let's put this another way too. There's a lot of people eating very, very strict ketogenic diets who don't really need to be. Some of you do need to be, for sure. Some of you, some of us, some of me need to be really strict to feel our best and to get the best results that we want. Other people can have more carbs, and they're either choosing not to for whatever reason, or they're not aware that they can tolerate more. And not just tolerate, not just that it wouldn't be harmful, they might even feel better. And this is something that Dr. Westman and I wrote about in End Your Carb Confusion. The whole book is about the fact that not everyone needs strict keto, right? So how huge a deal is it? Like, if you normally try to stay under 20 or 30 or 40 grams of carbs a day, and let's say you are a 30-gram person, and one day you have 50 grams, all right, you're over by 20 grams of carbs. Whoop-de-doo. Now, you might feel bad about that. You might feel like, I wish I hadn't done that. I'm off plan, da da da. I have to stop. First of all, you don't have to restart. You don't have to, like, when you get back on plan, like, you're not starting from zero. You're not starting from scratch and, like, your body has to, like, retrain itself to burn fat. No, 20 extra grams of carbs. Stop wasting my time with this nonsense. Or if, again, 20 extra grams, 20 extra grams. It wasn't 200 extra grams. Back in your old days, you were eating 200 or 300 grams of carbs a day. Please stop beating yourself up for an extra 20 or 30. Now, I have been accused of, or I guess I will say I self-accuse, of being a little too understanding and empathetic and lenient. When I say, well, God, don't beat yourself up over the 20 extra carbs or the 30 carbs. Like, you're human. It's a muffin. It's not bad. That works for some people. If you are someone that knows that your body only really starts getting where you want it to go when you are strict, then you don't have that flexibility. You can't be going off plan, and 20 or 30 extra carbs will make or break you. So you have to know where you fall on that spectrum. And even if you are one of those people I just described where you have to keep things very tight, even then, if you're off the map here and there, like, I was listening to a podcast today where the lady said something like, if you are, she was talking about changing habits or trying to adopt a new thing. And it was actually, she was talking about diet specifically. And she was saying that if you fall short, like if you fail, if you're not really doing the thing that you want to do, don't beat yourself up about it. The fact that you're failing, or the fact that you're a failure is such a terrible word. The fact that you're, like, not quite doing it the way you want to is proof that you're at least out there trying. You are making an attempt. Isn't that better than someone who's not even trying? Or isn't it, let's not even compare ourselves to anyone else. Isn't it even better than you yourself not trying, giving up, or not even having taken the initiative to learn about keto or low carb or paleo or whatever you're doing? You've at least taken those steps. Good for you. Congratulations. Like, you know how easy it is to sit there and just keep taking your meds and eating whatever you want and doing whatever you want? That's really easy. The change is hard. So if you suck at it, at least you're trying. You have something to suck at. So does Amy Berger. Amy Berger sucks at massive numbers of habits that she is trying to adopt and failing, or trying to stop and failing. So, but I'm trying. And I think it was Brene Brown. She's a writer and she's given so many TED Talks and YouTube videos. She writes a lot about, like, shame and self-confidence and just courage, like just putting yourself out there, doing your thing. When I was younger, we used to have the phrase, let your freak flag fly. So, like, be yourself, go do your thing. And I think it was Brene Brown. If this is somebody else, then my apologies that I'm giving credit to the wrong person. But she said something like, when people put something out into the world, whether you're a writer and it's a book, you're a singer and it's a song, or you're a songwriter and it's a song, or you're a blogger and it's a blog post, or whatever the creation is. You could be a chef and it's the meal you just cooked. You don't want criticism and ridicule from spectators when they're not even in the ring participating in the game or the fight. You are in the ring. You're there. You're doing the work as best you can, even if your work is not quite up to the standard you wish it were. You're trying. You're doing the work. You'll get there eventually. A child, maybe there's a rare exception. Little kids don't get on two-wheel bicycles and just magically pedal and ride. They have training wheels for a long time. And then when their training wheels are off, they don't have training wheels and they fall down a lot before they get the hang of it. You know why they fall down a lot? Because they're on the bike trying to ride. The easiest way not to fall off a bike is to not ever even get on it. So if you are falling short of your ideal, the ideal you've set for yourself, because you're a grown adult and no one else can impose that kind of food rule for you. I mean, assuming you all are law-abiding citizens, other people and institutions do put into place regulations that we do have to comply with unless we want to wind up incarcerated. But beyond that, we at least do have autonomous control over the food we eat and over whatever parameters we set around the amounts and the types and the whatever of food. So if you're falling short, you're in the ring fighting the match. And so you don't have to, don't take criticism from whoever. I mean, I don't know if you are getting criticism, but it's like, I don't know. Like, don't, okay, you don't like my blog posts? Start your own blog. Nobody's forcing you to read my blog posts. If you don't like them, if you think you can do better, do better. I don't see you writing any blog posts, or you don't like my videos? Go make your own videos. Like, don't do that. Just keep watching mine, please. Or, do some, but just make them different so that we don't have to compete. Yeah, oh, you don't like the way I do X? Well, go do it yourself then. You think you can do better? Do it. Who's stopping you? So, but again, I will get back to the black and white thinking thing. Like, you and the bee in the fight. If you slip every now and then, the awesome thing about slipping is you can only slip if you've been on a path and then you slip off the path. If you're not even on a path to begin with, you're not slipping, you're just all over the place to begin with as your default anyway, right? You slipped or you're eating off plan. If you eat off plan, that suggests that you were following a plan at some point or trying to follow a plan, right? So like, just spin this a little more positively. You don't have to sit there and stew in shame and in self-loathing and in, that line from Jerry Maguire, cloaked in failure. You don't have to feel like you're cloaked in failure. I mean, this is just food. If you eat something that's not on your plan or something that's high in carb, you're not a failure. You just ate something that's a little high in carbs. Like, maybe I should do a little video series on the diet talk and the diet culture and the diet brain, the diet mindset, because these moral implications and the moral language we use around food is really problematic. I failed, I cheated, I did whatever, Anyway, I'm going to stop talking. It's been 23 minutes. It's never black and white. You've never completely ruined everything or anything for that matter. You get right back on plan the second you put the thing down or the second the last of it is finished and it's gone. Like I said, you don't even have to think of it like, I'll start again at dinner. I'll start again my next meal. You've already started the second that particular eating episode is finished. So awesome. And check out the links below. I am speaking at 3 events coming up in July, August, and then in October I'll be in the Netherlands. So check out those links. And I don't remember if I mentioned, I talked about the blog post about the cheat meals. I will put a link to that. And, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. If you appreciate keto without the crazy, if you like the message of sanity that I am putting out or trying to put out, maybe I'm failing, I don't know. Then subscribe and share links far and wide. Tell all your friends and family and everyone you've ever met to watch and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.